Hello there, folks. It is time to do a little summary of the summer. And traditionally that happens on the balcony. So the summer 2024 has been so-so. Another summer that has been just so-so. It hasn't been all that much outdoor flea markets. And those that have been way out in the country field, where it's not that cheap to go by bus with. So this is findings for both June and July, some even from the end of May, as the previous vinyl CD update was 24th of May. It was at least uploaded then. So I still have some to show, but a lot are June stuff. But it's still findings. So let's start and see what the summer have brought me. Starting with CD singles, and these I bought just yesterday actually. 3 CD singles I bought yesterday. The Beautiful South, Perfect 10. Beautiful South, which is the band by Paul Heaton from the House Martins. And a little melodic, very British and very relaxing. Swedish Euro dance music, E-Type, Life. And Harriet, who was a British pop dance artist that never became all that big. I had one album by her that was so I called it away very early. But I gave her another chance for this EP, Woman to Man, from that album. But it's not bad, so I might keep it for now anyway. What happens in future comings is another thing. Ordinary singles. Ordinary. Vinyl singles. CD singles is ordinary also. Swedish singer Björn Skifs, who was the singer on Blue Swede, who did this Hooked on a Feeling, Ooga Chaka, Ooga 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 Chaka. Solo, he is most famous for here in Sweden, Björn Skifs, and this is a song called Firefly, which I heard in an old radio show a couple of years ago, and I thought that this might be one of the best songs he had ever made, actually. I'm glad to have found it on 45. These singles are found at a place called Videodrome that was outside of Sundsvall in Kvissleby. But I took a chance and took me out there because I knew in that place there are records, and there will be a lot of finding from there during this video. The singles costed me 20 cents, so I took a little chance of some. This is Marbo. I have no idea who that is. But why not? For 20 cents I took a chance, and Falling in Love in Summertime. It was a really, really nice soulish style song. I really like this song. It's from 1976. So it's great to find stuff that you don't know that turn out to be really great. So more Swedish. This is Swedish troubadour Cornelis Vreeswijk and Swedish crooner / entertainer Östen Warnerbring. They did a show together, and for that they also did this single Rosetta and På checka glada gossar, 2 go happy chaps. Now coming to something I went to in beginning of all June, I think it was. A record store we had in the 90s called Förlorade Favoriter that was shut down in I think it was late 90s. The owner of that had the temporary reopening of that store for one day. It was a kind of a record fair, to be honest, actually, for him private record fair. But I found some really interesting stuff there. Bob Seger, Main Street, and Bob Seger, Night Moves. I think this is the A side. And Motte Hoople, Roll Away the Stone. I'm not going to say that I'm Motte Hoople's biggest fan. I think the B side here, it was definitely not my style. But I always liked Roll Away the Stone because of the very dramatic aura that it actually has in the melody. So I'm really happy to have found this one. 2 records more that I found on that particular event. Aretha Franklin and Love All the Hurt Way from 1981. It is produced by Alex Martin, who has produced a lot of awesome stuff in the 80s. He has produced many of Chaka Khan's albums. He has produced one of the best albums ever in Schizopolitis, Cupid and Psyche. It's very interesting. Now this is an album that I was very happy for. This is Eagles Live. This is actually released after Eagles had broken up first time. It was a band in pieces. But the record company and the manager wanted them to do one more last album. I think they had one album left on their contract. So they released this, Eagles Live. And this is a pretty famous album. I don't think I need to go through the background of this one, but I listened to it and it's a really, really great live album, what you can expect from Eagles. It is an album that might wind up as one of the participants for the best finding of the year when the new year comes. So this is a really, really great double album set. And speaking of albums that are candidates for the album of the year, here's another one. Earth, Wind and Fire, and That's the Way of the World. I listened to it and it is fantastic. I hesitate to say this. I love All in All and I Am. Those are two of my favorite albums from the 70s with Earth, Wind and Fire. But actually, this is even stronger than All in All. It's hard to say it because I love that one to death. But this is such an amazing album. Funky and really, really great one. Now we have more soul, Norda Michael Walden and Awakening from 1979. Now we're coming to Pile Jazz. Oscar Peterson and Milt Jackson together. Two of the few. And released from Pablo that I've been trying to distance myself from a little bit because I realized that though I like that label's intention to have old jazz legends live up again and been able to do records again way after their prime and the way after jazz has been jazz genre has been not all that well selling. Some of them are not that good of the records on this label. Many of them are musicians that are way past their prime. But when you find Oscar Peterson and Milt Jackson together, I gladly make an exception by it. Recordings are from 1983. We have Leslie Young, The Press, released on Giants of Jazz. I paid only 10 cents for this one, so of course I took it, even though it's not all that unusual recordings. But I love jazz piano. Lionel Hampton and Lionel Hampton in Paris, recorded in Paris 1956 with these musicians. Very interesting. This is Lionel Hampton in small band setting, a sextet here, and really nice. This is an artist that I haven't actually had any records with before, and I think one of the reasons why I got it was because of the musicians on this album, and that I'm listening a lot to older jazz these days. This is Bessie Smith, that I normally have been seen as not all that interesting, mainly because she sings a lot with only a piano, and that is not all that interesting. But this one contains Coleman Hawkins, Fletcher Henderson, it contains Frank Newton, Jack Teagarden, Hugh Berry, Clarence Williams, so of course I wanted to have this one. And I feel like it is a good album, but I don't think I need more of Bessie Smith. I think this might be the one I need with Bessie Smith, if I don't find one that is only with bands. This is a musician that I had an album with before that I thought was not all that interesting, but I felt like when I saw this one, let's give it another chance. And it opened my eyes, actually, how wrong I have been. Edgar Hayes, not all that big band name. He's more famous for arrangements and so on. This is in his orchestra, Swinging Jewels, 1937 to 39. And now when I listen to this, I realize that I was wrong about Edgar Hayes. His arrangements are not all those that ordinary. It is very experimental and very special. Take a look at his version of Duke Ellington's Caravan, for instance. It is a very odd caravan. So it's definitely staying collection. Now, leaving jazz. No, not leaving jazz. I have one more jazz left. It is this. Milt Jackson, Opus de Jazz, which is a quintet recording from 1955, released in Savoy. That was found for $2. Now leaving jazz on vinyl. And easy listening. You know I love Edmundo Ross and his orchestra. This I found for only 10 cents, Fiesta, and I didn't have it. Really happy for this one. Swedish comedy. This is Partaj. That was a Swedish comedy series from the late 60s with a lot of sketches and comedy stuff. And Partaj, that means partay, like. And they also made a record. I'm very happy to have found this. The interesting thing is I found this one on that show where I found Eagles and Aretha Franklin I showed earlier, the opening of Förlorade Favoriter, and then it costed $4. And after I went home, I was thinking maybe I should have bought that one. Now I managed to find it for $1. I'm happy that I didn't buy it on that record shop. Kings of Drums, from a series by CBS called Jazz Party. I have another one in the same series. This is an album that I wasn't too pleased that it was. I had various feelings about it. I might say that it was okay album, but it was very various feelings about it. First of all, take a look at the musicians. Okay, I can sell for Joe Morello and Sam Woodyard, though they are very odd when it comes to an album of Kings of Drums, because they aren't mentioned all that much in jazz history. Art Blakey, naturally. Lionel Hampton. I know that he plays drums occasionally, but in my world he is a player of vibraphone. So, what he does on an album of Kings of Drums is beyond me. But as it is a lot of drums, it is in a way too much drumming. Sometimes it is more drumming than melody, and I'm not too fond of that. Drumming, yes, but in normal doses, and this is not normal doses, so I'm not sure that I will keep this one. Swedish rock singer Mikael Rickfors, who once was the singer in the Hollies. This is a solo live album from 1981. Really nice one. Soul. Tavares. Sky High. I listened to this one. It is really, really great, relaxing. Not that funky, more disco-ish than funk, but it's really, really nice disco soul. This is the album with their big hit Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel from 1976. As you know, I'm a fan of Walt Disney. I'm a fan of stuff that are so bad that it's actually listenable, which is why I'm a fan of this series. This is Disney favoritserie, Disney favorite series. I have some of these. These are comic strips made for audio with actors and so on. This is Gyro Garloose. I didn't know he had a special album for him. And the Attack of His Thinking Hat. The acting is really, really bad. And the first album is also very, very confusing. The sound effects makes it more confusing, and the first 15 minutes I wondered if they had taken anything before making it. It was totally blur of effects and echo and everything. I didn't make heads or tails of this one. But it's fun to have. It's so bad that it's actually funny. I don't like classical all that much. Not that I have anything against it, but it is very... I don't have time to listen to it all that much. But if it is old recordings, I really like it. And this is it, really old recordings. This is Felix Weingartner, that I actually never heard of before. But recordings are from 1931 to 1940. So this box set of 3 albums was really, really welcome. I listened to first album, the Beethoven's Eroica Symphony, number 3. So this is really, really interesting and great. Now coming to CDs. Louis Russell. I felt like I actually didn't need another Past Perfect Silver Line, but for 50 cent and with a musician that plays older recordings, older jazz, I definitely was happy to have it. Jerry Mulligan Quartet, live in Paris. Does that city ring a bell for you these days? Cell Playel, June 1st, 1954. Classic songs, but it's live with Bob Brookmeyer, Red Mitchell, and Frank Isola. We have British indie group Saint Etienne that I like very much, with the great singer Sarah Cracknell. And this is the album So Tough. I think this is the first with Sarah Cracknell as a vocal. The most famous song here is You're in a Bad Way. That was a minor hit back in 1990. 3, I think. This one I made a video of, so I'm not going to spend my time talking much about it, but for those who haven't seen that video, when I was at a flea market outside of Sundsvall, I can show it. U2 Soropa and U2 Achtung Baby. This one I actually listened to. It's a good album. It's a really good album, but it's definitely not one of U2's best albums. But it is a good album. Definitely stay in the collection. This one I was very happy of. Pet Shop Boys, Hotspot, from 2020. This is they have released a new album this year. This is the album before that. Dreamland. We have Burning the Heather. This is very, very interesting, and I paid only $3 for it. Swedish synth pop group Bobby. That was a band that had minor success in Sweden in the beginning of the 00s. This is from 2000 and I think it is 1 or 2. 1, no. 3, 2003. Romantic and Bleeding. Jamiroquai, The Return of the Space Cowboys, an album that I've been looking for a lot. So long that Jamiroquai actually had been releasing a new album after. But I was hoping that this one would be the one that makes me have a complete Jamiroquai. Now I have to find the latest album, and after that I have complete Jamiroquai. Really nice acid jazz soul. More jazz, Errol Garner, released on Naxos Legends. It says here it's early recordings, so that sounds very interesting. Now a band that I found on one of the few outdoor flea markets that I have been visiting recently. This is with a band that when they came, I wasn't all that interested in them. But for the past 5 years, I've been discovering them that they actually were really great. I'm talking about The Killers. The songs from the previous album that came out last year was really, really great. So I managed to find 3 Killers albums. Hot Fuzz from 2004, I think it's from. This is the only one I listened to so far, and it's really, really good album. Though it's not all that much hits on it, but it's really, really nice sound. This is Day and Age, and this contains their breakthrough, at least in Sweden, Human, a song that I'm still not all that fond of, but it's really fun to have. And the rest of the album is, I have still high hopes for it. And from 2012, Battleborn. Not all that nice looking sleeve, but I'm not listening with the sleeve. More jazz, Louis Armstrong and his orchestra, from one of the periods with him that I like the best, when he had his own big band, and that is early 30s, so this is very, very great. And it doesn't sound that raspy in his voice still. We have a Eurodance project that I've heard on some compilations, and I got interested in it. So I thought, why not buy an entire album now when I see it? I don't see Eurodance on CD all that much, so why not? Future Breeze and the album Why from 1997. Zoot Sims and Al Coon, Zootcase. I actually have an album called Zootcase also, but with Zoot Sims, but this is not that one. This is a live album with recordings from Sweden, actually. It's recorded in June 8th, 1982 in Mosebacke in Stockholm. with Swedish musicians. So listen to it, and it's a really, really great concert. Highly recommended. And finally, a CD with Monica, some 90s soul here. This is The Boy Is Mine, consisting of course then her hit with Brandy. I also have on the Brandy's album also. But as you can see, this is a Japanese, I think, release. So it's a very, very interesting thing to have. And I'm starting to enjoy 90s soul more and more. So, that was summer 2024. And that was still fun, but I was hoping for more action during the July. That I've been always said that July is the most fun month to buy records in, because of what had been before all of the outdoor flea markets, at least in the main city area. But still a lot of great stuff. So let's see what August can bring, and the late part of the summer. So until next time, I hope that every one of you have a really nice time, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care, and so long.